Be there now, using all of your senses. Tell me what you see or experience.
I'm seeing myself as my Arcturian self, but observing through the life of a bug. It's like a centipede or millipede that is climbing up a tree, but I am observing it as my Arcturian self. I'm tapping into the energy of the millipede. I'm getting information through the insect. As I'm in two places at once.
Tell me more about the information you receive through the insect. Connect deeply to that bug.
I'm climbing the tree in a spiral. The energy of the tree is spiraling around the branches, and I'm going in flow with the energy of the tree to become one with the information of the tree. I understand the flow of energy that is around the tree, and I'm matching that flow. As I am the insect as well as myself, and I'm purposely connecting in on the energy of the tree. I have to match the energy of the tree.
Lovely. And as you tap into the energy of the tree more deeply now, what information does the tree hold?
The tree is talking about the seasons. It is expressing how important it is to flow with the seasons and be one with the seasons. It is saying that the human race is off balance and we are not in season. We have a different way of following, a different calendar per se, a different lifestyle, and we are not tapping back into the seasons. The seasons are there for a reason, and it is better to be in flow with the season than the other path that has been created, which is off of season, if that makes sense. The seasons of the moon and the sun and the blossoms and the autumns, everything has a deeper reason and a deep purpose. And the human race is not following. And once we do tap into following back into seasons, then we will be in balance within oneself and with the planet. The current calendar and number system that is in place at present is purposely put us there to take us away from being in balance. And this needs to fall away. There is no need for that calendar system to be in place any longer, and it does need to fall away. And the purpose of connecting in with the tree is to tell us that these seasons are what we need to follow.
Lovely. And do the seasons shift? People notice seasons don't match how they used to in the world. Do they naturally shift?
Yes, they do shift. They do shift into what they think is best to do at the time. And they're in many different seasons playing out in many different places. But the seasons do stand strong in their basics of what it is they need to do. But there are different seasons and different places. And people are placed within those different seasons at the correct time that they need to be in. But unfortunately, they are off balance with the current man-made system, the man-made seasons that should not be followed any longer. They do not serve a purpose any longer.
Mm. And if we can zoom out from the planet for a minute, do these seasons extend onto a larger scale into the solar system? Would that have seasons?
Not necessarily, no. It is a much grander scale of different energy flows. Because the earth is very organic, it has its own seasonal system. If we had to go to another planet per se and try to understand the concept of seasons, we wouldn't grasp it, as it's not what is there. They have their different flows, their different energies, but it is nothing like what we have as seasons on our planet.
Yes, lovely. And tell me more about the bug on the tree. How do you match your energy to the tree?
It is the flow and the spiral.
Tell me more about the spiral. Why is this
The human
important?
eye cannot see at this point in time the energy that is around each and every single thing that is on this planet. They cannot see the flow of how everything twists around. It is not just holding in place. It is like an energy flow that identifies into the tree, which comes from the flow of the ground. We ourselves as humans, we ourselves have that flow, that energy flow. It comes in, it goes out, it is shared. It is shared with the trees, the food, the plants, with each other, with the animals. It is all shared. Yes, we have our core coding of our energy, but it flows. Everything flows with one another. And this is what we need to understand when we share our energy with others. It's a flow. If I had to describe, it's like a spiral of a tornado that twists and turns and it gets shared. And if you match into the flow of that tree, imagine yourself sitting against a tree with your back against a tree, and imagine your energy as it's twisting and flowing, and then it wraps around the tree as it twists and flows, and you'll be able to connect on an energy level into the tree. The same with another being, the same with the human. When you share space with another human, imagine your energy twisting with theirs. And this is how you bond on an energetic level with another being, with another anything around you.
Beautiful, thank you. And tell me, what is the purpose of the bug being on the tree? Is it recharging its batteries, so to speak?
I, as my Arcturian self, I'm gathering information from the tree. I'm tapping into the tree as a bug so that I can pick up what flow and what energy. We all do this on Earth. Everywhere we go, we analyze and maintain the Earth's flow of energy. We see what it is that she needs, and we do our best from where we are to give her what she needs. And we do this by being a bug, by being a blade of grass, by being anything that we need to be. This is how we tap into Gaia to keep her balanced at this current moment in time.
And what does your Arcturian self need to discover in this moment from the tree?
It is the data that we need, and then it gets taken back to where we need to reassess the data. So we just get that information. It is like having a well-oiled machine that needs to be maintained. And we have to go back with the data and explain to them what level, what energy, what we need to bring, what we need to take away.
I see. Wonderful. I would like you to connect into the data that you are collecting from the tree. And I would like you to tell me how you store this and how you look at it and share it.
It is like a computer. It is data, but it is not a computer as it would be known down on Earth, but it is a collective of information that we put into the system. And this collective of information is gathered from many places, from many planets. It's not just Earth. I am now showing her it's like having a greenhouse. It's like Earth is just one big greenhouse. And as you would maintain a greenhouse, we are doing the very same. It is a simplistic way of putting it forward, but it is what would be understood. And we're having to maintain and manage this beautiful greenhouse with all the bugs and all the animals, including the humans.
Lovely. And is it just the trees that store information like a computer? Or are there other structures, plants on the earth that also hold certain information?
Everything holds information, even the humans. Everything holds information. It just depends on which information we choose to tap into. The wind, the clouds, everything. And each of us have our responsibilities to check and see what information we need. There are other beings that will check on the wind and the weather. And I am now currently checking on the trees. I do the plants, I do the flowers and the grass.
Beautiful. Now tell me, where do you take this information when you have gathered it?
We are all on a ship,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a section on the ship where we put this information down. We all put it together, and there are other people that make decisions of what we need to do to rebalance, and there are other people that collect information. There is a team of us that work together in managing the earth.
Lovely. Would we be able to go to the ship and see what information has been collected from the tree at this particular time?
I am currently on the ship now.
Beautiful. And can you tell me what the data from that tree that you visited with the bug, can you tell me what information that tree is holding that we may need to know today?
The tree was talking about the seasons and how everything is going to become aligned into the seasons, and the natural flow of seasons are going to come about. There has been a very unnatural flow. The weather has been adjusted by others. The seasons have been adjusted by others. Nothing is very natural. And now we are coming into a point where things are now going to go back to a more natural state and a natural flow. Things have been tampered with, and now this is going to fall away. So it is a natural place. And what I am doing as my Arcturian self now is assessing that we are all ready. The trees are ready. Everything is ready, because it's now time to step into this flow.
Wonderful. And how will this flow readjust itself?
It is doing well. It is a clearing away. It has been like trying to come to a point of a wall and trying to break through this wall. And now the wall has fallen away, and the nature can now step into its natural flow. It will happen naturally. It is like a wall has now been lifted or taken away.
Wonderful. And how will this appear to the humans and the animals on Earth? What benefits are there going to be for them?
Lots of pressure is going to be lifted and taken away. They will feel less pressure, and a more natural flow will happen and occur. But there are natural things that need to readjust, to be put into place. And we as the humans need to readjust as our human selves, as we are humans, as we are Arcturian, as we are many. And our human selves need to readjust as well. There will be a period that it may feel a little bit strange, but we will naturally flow into this.
Wonderful. Thank you. And when you say the seasons and the weather have been tampered with, can you tell us who has been tampering with it?
There are different vibrational beings. They like to play and mess around for their own benefit. And they use this planet and the energies to mess around. They have created a lot of confusion. They've created a lot of unbalance. And when things are unbalanced, it throws them off. A lot of the human race, a lot of everything that is happening has been tilted and thrown off. And you do stay in a place of confusion. And now these beings do not have that control. And now things will be going back into their natural balance.
Wonderful. And how long will this take? Do you have an idea?
As much as a date is always wanted, it is an individual journey as well as a collective journey. The earth herself has already moved into this place of balance. And as an individual, people need to catch up. You will have individuals who are already in that seasonal place, who do not participate in the creations that the other vibrational beings have created for us to bring about confusion. There are already beings that have moved, other humans that have moved out of this and are already currently living in that place and that time. It all depends on the individual and small pockets of groups that need to move into it. It is already there and it is already available. It's about choosing to step into it.
And when you say stepping into that place, are you talking about in a dimensional aspect?
Yes, that is the word that is used as different dimensional aspect. They're already there and available to pick and choose from. There's also the words as timelines, dimensions, parallel universes. They're all very similar. And these things are already there available. It's a case of picking and choosing them.
Mm-hmm. So, have many people moved into a higher dimension on Earth at this time?
I wouldn't say many. I wouldn't say the whole collective as the highest percentage, but yes, they are there and they are waiting and they are carrying on. And there's some that are dancing with one toe in one section and another toe in another section. But they are all going at their pace that they are comfortable in moving into.
Beautiful. I want you to take your awareness back onto the ship as your Arcturian self and tell me what you do next now that you have collected the data from the tree. What's your next mission?
Everything that happens in this universe, it's like a cause and effect. Whatever happens on Earth happens elsewhere. What people need to understand is that the success of Earth brings about the success of the universe. And we are looking at the data to see how Earth and its success ricochets and affects our success. We are in this together, as they say. And we are now looking at the data of how it is affecting us on our level of where we are.
I see. And tell me how the success of the Earth is going to affect the rest of the universe. Why is that?
As we are in this together, it is a win-win or a lose-lose. That is a very earthly term, I understand. But the Earth's success is our success. And we also ourselves want to advance and move into other realms as you all do yourselves. And we are all here to help and assist. And I can see the development of the Arcturian species and many other species is dependent on the success of the Earth, as we ourselves have put aspects of ourselves in human form. So we would like it to win and come into our favor, as it has been in the favor of different species that hasn't been looked upon as being a positive.
Mm. And from the data you've been collecting, how is Earth doing currently? Is she on track?
Yes, she is on track. It may not seem so when you are down in the density of it, but she is on track. There's no other way to go now, but in the direction and the trajectory that she is going. And it is a win for our side.
Beautiful. And what is your next job then on the ship? Where do you go to next as your Arcturian self?
I facilitate. I have been in this position before as this Arcturian. I facilitate a lot in the creation aspect. I do not guide the ship as such, or as you would put it, as a human drive the ship. That is not my responsibility. I am here to assist in the creation of things.
Tell me more about that.
As we ourselves are creator beings, we also use Earth as a template to create. And it is important that I hold and I manage creation itself. as an aspect of myself within and as an aspect of myself without. I am creating in both places and managing the creation.
Beautiful. And tell me more about your ship. Whereabouts are you in the galaxy?
We're very close to Earth, just not in the 3D visual. It is very large. It is like a base and a collective database. There are many other beings that are managing many other sectors in this universe. And we all come together on the ship in this place. And we all work together and meet up.
And how long have you been studying the Earth and the changes occurring here?
From the beginning.
I see. Lovely. And how long will you stay there?
I have put my human self down to observe this big shift and change that is occurring. And I will probably focus on to see the more, there's no end result. This is the thing, there isn't an end of where, oh, we've reached this point and now we are finished. I will continue to see as it is like a project. It is like a greenhouse. It is part of the creation that I have participated in. And I will continue to stay with it, whether I be an aspect of a human or whether I be a different aspect of something else. It is my job, it is my joy to be part of this creation itself.
Wonderful. And this is the human part of yourself who's with me today. Does she provide information and data?
She does. She's coming into herself very nicely now. She's remembering that she is the creator being. She is an aspect of myself. She is an aspect of source that is creating. And she is doing her best to help others to understand the same thing. She understands that she can create and manipulate her reality, but it is very difficult. The problem is that a lot of people coming into their awareness of self, they just assume they can get into the big sports car when they have just started to drive. It does take time, and people need to not jump into their ego of wanting it all now, wanting the information now. It takes time. If we leave the creation up to people who are small and they are baby-like in that way, and I'm not saying this in a derogatory way, but as a baby needs to learn to crawl and walk and speak, it is the same aspect as it comes into creation. This information that is coming through of being the creator beings, it has to be done delicately. We cannot just take a baby and make it stand and make it walk. The child will fall. It is the same with understanding of who you are. This is why this process seems so long.
And what are the best steps for humans who are aware they're creator beings right now? What are the best steps for us to take for a better understanding on, say, how to manifest?
Stay in your heart. That is where the source resides. I understand that we have been so programmed to think that it is external, even from the place of we need to bring it in to surround ourselves. It's already there. It's already there. If it makes beings and humans feel better to open up chakras, to bring it in, then that's fine. We understand that is the baby steps. We're jumping straight into it is already within, it is in the center of you. Tap into that, hold it there, clear away any conditioning that you are anything less than source. Clear away that conditioning. Allow your center of source to spread into your mind and remind you of who you are. Clear away that chatter in the mind that tells you that you are less, and hold it strong within the center of self. That is where it is. There is a universe within each and every one of you. You are the universe within yourself. And it's a case of remembering that and holding that within the center of yourself.
It's so beautiful. Thank you. Sometimes it seems difficult to clear away all the conditioning that we've had for so long. What advice do you have for us to get rid of all that conditioning?
When each human is born, are they born with conditioning? Are they born brainwashed? They are not. Going back to the mind and the freshness of being born with no conditioning at all, going back to that is where it all starts. We are conditioned by society. Again, it has been hijacked by negative energies or lower vibrational energies that does not have the best intention for the humans. But there is a bigger picture at play. Remember all that conditioning, every single thing that we are conditioned to believe in the mind. Understand that it is a conditioning, not a fact. Fact is source within self. That is fact. Your mind, you need to reprogram every single thing. If you were told as a child you were not good enough, if you were told as a man or a woman you were not good enough, or you weren't the right color or the right gender or the right height, these are conditionings. Question every single conditioning. Why do you believe that you are not tall enough? Because someone told you so? Who is that someone? Who are they? They are nobody. You are the source. You are the balance. You are the love. Extend that into your mind and understand everything is just a manipulative conditioning, not fact. They will become smaller if you see them in that light.
Yes, it does take practice.
Yes, like a baby walking, crawling.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. And as your Arcturian self on this ship, reading all the data, can you give us some insights to what the year ahead has in store for us, the year 2022? What does your data tell us?
It is going to be interesting. We've had a lot of calm and stillness, as noisy as it may have seemed by others who have wished to observe the noise. For others, it has been a place of calm and stillness. In fact, it was brought about by the fact that the energies were off. And people did want to just slow down. People wanted to just stop. It was all getting too much, too quick, too noisy. And here we are in this calm space because enough of the collective decided it needed to quiet down. But now that that cup is full of having some peace and quiet, now it is coming forward and people are deciding this is not what we want. This energy is not what we want, and this is what is needed, that decision of not wanting. But now it is the time to decide what it is you do want, what it is that you need for yourself. That is the energy that is going to be coming forward now. in 2022? What is it you all want? Because you do know what you don't want. Make those choices, move into that energy, and put it in a place of joy, not just for self, but for the collective. Where are you going? What visions do you have? Bring them about, create them now. This is where we are at the moment.
Wonderful. Thank you. A lot of people are talking about a wave of energy that's coming into the planet. Do you have any information on that you could share with us today?
Yes, as we have said before, there are many waves. This is a current wave, and it is a shifting of energy. We downloaded this information to Claire of the shadow work, collective shadow work. There's a few little niggles that need to come up. There's going to be a lot of cognitive dissonance. People are now starting to see that what they thought and believed was true is not true and is not going to sit well with some. And they're going to be afraid because their entire reality that they were so invested in is now crumbling and falling away. So there is an energy of fear, anxiety, and discomfort, and this wave of information that is coming through to show them that their entire reality is actually not real. What they've invested in is not real. And this is the wave that is coming forward now. And the ones that are already in the reality of, they understand that this isn't real. They understand that we've been manipulated. Those people need to be there for the ones that are newly coming into the light of waking up. This is what you are here for.
Wonderful. Thank you. So the collective shadow is a wave of information that even the mainstream people will see, will experience.
Yes, it is coming. What is happening is that they are questioning the mainstream now. It is the ones that are choosing to wake up at the last minute kind of energy, as has been discussed. The ones that have chosen to stay asleep, to hold on to that reality. Even they themselves is going to be questioning what is put forward in front of them. They themselves are going to be looking for alternative information. And once they question what is in front of them and choose to look elsewhere, then that mainstream will start to fall away. It's where you put your energy, it's where you put your focus. And the less people that focus on the mainstream is how it falls away.
That's wonderful. And once we've cleared the shadow and the mainstream falls away, what happens next?
A lot of confusion still. Because as we all know, some people were born awake, as they call it, and others have come into it. Remember what that felt like. It was scary, it was fearful, it was confusing for many. And they themselves are going to come into that energy, and this will be the clearing. It has to come forward, it has to come out as if it's a clearing of shadow work. And there's going to be a lot of confusion. But this is where we are here to help. This is why we are here to help, because we do not want them to dip too far down. As you all know, you refer to them as rabbit holes, and people that have been awake for a while have been down some really deep, dark holes. We don't necessarily want them to go down all those holes, as we need to bring them as delicately as we can, up to the level of not being in the holes. They don't need to know all the information to clear it. That is what all of you have done. Some of them are too delicate to go down these holes. So be the bridge for them. Be the bridge that they can delicately come over without being in too much fear and too much confusion.
Yes, that makes sense. And what's the best way to help these people? How do we be the bridge? Do we stay in our higher frequencies and bring them up with us?
Stay in your heart center. Do not judge. There's a lot of judgment. Us and them. They've had it, they haven't had it. The sleep, the awake. We ourselves create that division. Be the bridge by having no division. It does not matter what they have put in to their bodies and their minds. It does not matter what level they are at. Be that bridge by holding no judgment. They are you, you are them. We are all one in this together. As frustrating as it may seem from being on your side, be the love, be the one. Hold no judgment at all.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Are there any final messages that you have for us, the collective, that you would like to share today?
As we have said before, remain calm and stand in your joy, and do not hold fear in your hearts. Everything is on track as it should be. And I understand when we all say go within, and people find this confusing and they don't understand what that means. Go within, does that mean meditate? Does that mean isolate oneself? Tap in to who you are. Go within to that place where you hold in your heart that is such joy and happiness. Go there. And if it means you need to sit with oneself for a moment, if it means you need to be in nature, if it means you need to have a laugh and giggle and be in joy or be creative, go there, be in that place that is your within, and make that grow and develop that further and shine for other people and teach them as well to be in that place of within.
It's a beautiful message to finish with. Thank you.
Thank
Can I
you.
ask who we've been speaking with? What's your name?
It is the group.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave the group for now in the white light to continue on with their journey. They'll find what they need to find, and I'd like to speak to them again someday. I'd like to ask for all the consciousness of Claire to reintegrate back into her body. And I would now like to ask to speak with Claire's higher self, please. Can I speak to Claire's higher self?
Yes.
Wonderful. I have some questions for the collective today that we didn't get to answer in our session.
Yes.
Thank you. The first one is we'd like to know more about dream time. What's happening there? Some people are feeling anxious in their sleep. Some people are not remembering their dreams. Some people are having similar dreams to other people. There's a lot going on in our dreams. Can you tell us more about that?
Dreaming is like what we are doing now when we go into our subconscious, as we're doing right now. It's very similar. And obviously, when we go into our subconscious, we're not 100% sure where we are, what we are doing. And your mind has to make sense of what you were seeing and what's happening. And sometimes it creates confusion. And it comes across in a way that may seem strange or odd. And some people don't remember them as their brain cannot actually process where we have gone into the subconscious as we are doing now. So people don't remember. But there was one question that a practitioner asked about why sometimes it feels like you're paralyzed. Part of your brain is still dreaming in a dream state, and the other part is awake. And it creates a lot of confusion. It is like the veil has been lifted slightly, and you're in both areas at the same time. Some people don't understand this, and they find it scary and confusion.
That makes sense. Thank you. Can you tell us what the state of the human consciousness is now that we have shifted to 4D?
Again, it is a state now. It is a lower level 4D. It is not quite in the middle. It's at a lower level now, as I can see I'm being shown that now. It is going to be a point of, some are going to be excited about it because they understand where we are. But again, it is going to create some confusion for others because it's new. It is a new place.
So not everyone has shifted into the lower 4D.
Not everyone yet, no.
Do you think the wave of the shadow that's going to be coming is going to move everyone else up to that space in the lower 4D?
What it's going to do is going to cause a rejection of 3D, if that makes sense. It's going to be, they are showing me it's people in the 3D are going to start rejecting it, which then places them up into 4D. It has to be a rejection. This is how it has to work. It's that when you give permission or don't give permission, they are showing me the collective of the last bunch of people that were wanting to stay in 3D. They need to now reject that energy, that play, that situation. And by rejecting it, then it helps them to move into the new place of the 4D. But there is a small collective that is still in the 3D holding on tightly, and they need to reject that. But the majority are in the 4D, just not all of us.
That makes so much sense. Thank you. Claire would like to know on a personal level, the session she had with Amanda, was that contract cleared, if there ever was a contract? Can you tell us more about that, please?
There was a contract made, like there are many of us that have made contracts. Actually, I'm just looking now, we've all got contracts. And part of coming in to this game, simulation, whatever you would like to refer to, whatever your belief system is, there was deals made. And for the benefit of Claire coming in as human, certain deals were made for certain experiences that were needed, as everybody else does the same. And this is where the other energies, which are perceived as negative, they play their part in assisting in us having our experiences acted out that we wish to experience. But part of the contracts was coming in and redoing it and redoing it and redoing it. That was part of the trick that we didn't necessarily agree to. And now those contracts are being lifted as the loop no longer needs to continue. And this is the part that's now been taken away from Claire's energy, that she no longer needs to participate in that loop. And other people need to do the same with themselves. You don't necessarily need to have another person do this for you. You just need to say you are done with those contracts. You need to just say, I am done with them. I am now choosing to go forward without the contract.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's good to know. And our final question is, in these sessions that we have, we would like to know how we discern if we are connecting or not connecting into a false AI matrix. And is it possible to connect into a false AI matrix here?
Yes, the AI matrix is already around everywhere. The only thing that has changed, that is different, is that the awareness that the AI matrix is there. That's the difference. It's always been there. Everybody thinks it's a new thing, or it's your awareness of it that is new. And if you are aware that it exists, you can reject it and not participate. It's when you are not aware, that is when it is able to manipulate. So if you are aware going into sessions as we are doing now, that that does exist, then you will not be affected by it as you choose not to participate with it.
So for someone that's new to this and has a session, is it possible they would see the false AI? Is it possible they would connect with that? And how would we
Yes,
discern this?
it is possible, if you are not aware of AI, that it will be AI that will be manipulating. Just as, for example, the AI is manipulating the human race on a conscious level through television, radio, media, anything out there, they are using these tools to manipulate us as the creator beings. They are also able to do the same in the subconscious if you are not aware you are being manipulated in the first place.
Thank you. Is there a way for a practitioner to discern if this was happening to their client or not? Can we ask in the session?
It is important that you maybe ask on a subconscious level with your higher self, because as you come into a session with someone who is new to this, they are not at the level that we would possibly be at. They're at a level of maybe possibly wanting to go see a past life or wanting to know who their soul group is, but they're not at the level of understanding that there is a manipulation at play. Asking the higher self within ourselves if there is a manipulation at play and to clear it is the best way forward. Just to go in with the intention that you yourself know that it is AI that could manipulate. Ask that it is, you go in with the clear intention to not allow the AI to participate.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for answering those questions for me. Is there anything else that Claire needs to know today?
Just to stay in the understanding that everything is going to be playing out as it should, as she is participating in the reality and as she is also creating the reality. Everything is coming as it should be. She is very excited at the information that she keeps coming across, that she's now applying to her life and things are working. She's excited. She just needs to keep going at it. As you had the conversation earlier with Claire about being lazy at doing things. And this is the thing, it's being lazy. People practice so hard at doing things that don't benefit them. And one of them would be being lazy. And one of them would be best to put that energy into practicing doing things a little bit better, make a little bit more effort, and then the effort will be seen.
That's wonderful advice for everyone at this time.
Yes.